If you want to start hitting clips like that, then listen up. Today, we're going to be showing you everything you need to dominate in your arena fights and make your opponents look clueless. While pre-fighters aren't anything new, more and more professional players have been incorporating them into their playstyle. Now, we're not talking about the random shotgun shots you take at an opponent's wall in the hopes of landing some pre-damage. Those are great, but we're referring more to the calculated shots that you take in between build replacements. When an opponent breaks a wall, there's a little window of time where any shot you take will phase right through and hit them, even if they're on 0 ping. You can actually force this play as well. Make an edit and quickly reset it if your opponent goes for the bait, and they'll shoot your wall and destroy it, leaving them open to taking damage. Just take a look at these clips from Polarized, for example. Whenever an opponent is being overly aggressive, he times his shotgun shot perfectly with the wall break for free damage. This could be a great way to change the roles of the fight, as we mentioned before. Once you land a heavy shot and crack their shield, they'll now be the ones forced to box up and play defense. Just take a look at this clip from Polarized, for example. Right after securing a kill, a third-party player pushes his wall thinking he's weak. Right when he destroys the brick wall, he slaps him for 144 with his shotgun. From here, the opponent is forced to box up and heal, giving Polarized the opportunity to chop him down and finish him off. We all know that situation where an opponent has a wall in front of you and you're forced to sit back and wait to trade shots. Now, while this strategy can sometimes work, an advanced player will win the trade 90% of the time. Instead of sitting there and hoping that they'll give you an open angle, you need to make an aggressive counterplay. Right as they make their edit, immediately shoot or pickaxe replace the wall and make a counter edit all in one swift motion. There's quite literally nothing your opponent will be able to do other than their best to dodge your shot and scurry to safety. Your fighting skills will mean absolutely nothing if you're constantly dying off spawn as a result of hot dropping major POIs like Mega City or Anvil Square. Yes, I know the potential stacked loot haul may be tempting, but there's just so much RNG that comes with landing here. In a typical arena match, you can expect upwards of 10 to 15 players to land with you, all with the same goal, to kill everyone and claim the POI as their own. Not to mention that these players are usually some of the best in the lobby, making it even more challenging to survive, even if you do manage to stag a solid loadout. Instead, try dropping in an edge map POI like Frenzy Fields or Kenjutsu Crossing. By landing at a less contested, lower risk drop, you can take your time to gather your preferred loadout and farm up some materials before taking any fights. We promise you, you're not a wuss for doing this. Even some of the best fighters in the world avoid landing at major POIs because they know they can get eliminated early on by players much worse than them due to some bad luck or forced 50-50s. If you're one of those players that have their heart set on getting the mythic Havoc shotgun, guilty as charged, you don't need to land at Mega City in order to get it. In fact, landing there straight off the bat can actually decrease your chances of coming out with it, since you'll be forced into a handful of fights before the vault even becomes available. Instead, land at a nearby split drop and make your way over there once the high card AI crew spawns in. By this time, you'll have a solid loadout with enough materials to comfortably fight to your best ability. Also, if the players that did land at Mega City are still fighting, you can come in and clean it up with ease to earn your title as the Mega City champion. Just like landing at a hot POI, it can be super tempting to scavenge across the center of the map in search of some quick action. Now, while you can very well do this, the players at the center of each zone are typically the strongest fighters, as they've likely been W-keying the entire game. This also means that they're going to be stacked on loot, making it even more challenging for yourself to survive. Instead, play around the edge of each zone and look for fights there. The players here will be much easier to fight, and since you're on the edge of zone, you won't need to worry about third-party players spraying you from the back or cleaning the fight up entirely. This way, you can utilize your fighting skills and won't be forced into making sloppy plays to wrap things up quickly. However, we're not saying to avoid the center zone entirely. Playing aggressively and taking as many fights as possible can be a great way to improve your quick thinking skills in high-intensity situations, something you'll need if you want to make it as a professional Fortnite player. Speaking of pro Fortnite players, visit ProGuides.com to unlock the full power of our comprehensive courses and exclusive bootcamp content for just $7.99. Craving a custom coaching experience? Score a 10% discount on tailor-made sessions with any of our skilled pros. If you weren't already aware, the brand new ODM gear is completely broken. Not only can you use it to travel across the map in seconds, but you can also use it to keep pressure on your opponents. Spamming the attack feature can be a great way to finish off opponents that are on low health. I mean, just look at this clip for example. The opponent had no choice but to sit there and get sliced up once his box was completely destroyed. Now, if you're unable to get your hands on some ODM gear, the kinetic blade is still a solid option. Consecutively dashing with the blade allows you to cover ground fairly quickly, and it can come in clutch when you need to avoid taking fall damage. You can also use it to reposition yourself in fights and create unique plays. As obvious as it may sound, you also need to play with confidence if you want to be a successful fighter in Arena. Regardless of your skill level, your opponents can easily tell when you don't think you have what it takes to win a fight. Constantly running away, avoiding edit plays, and overall just letting your opponent control the fight are dead giveaways of someone who might be an easy kill. The more advanced fighters you come across will notice this almost instantly and will do everything in their power to not let you get away. Even if you get pushed by an opponent who's clearly better than you, don't disengage. Hold your ground and show them that you're not scared to fight. This will likely cause them to move on to the next player instead of wasting their time on you, or you might just put them in a montage. You never know. Just take a look at this. After getting his shield cracked, the player doesn't try to run away. He makes room for himself to heal and then holds his ground when getting spam attacked by the ODM gear. Right as the opponent drops down on his wall, he goes for an aggressive piece control play, boxes him, and finishes the fight just like that. Aside from protecting yourself from the more advanced opponents, playing with confidence will help you in your fights against run-of-the-mill players as well, since you'll have enough trust in yourself to go for risky plays and avoid hesitation. In Arena, you want to be the one in control of the fight, not the one getting controlled. When you take a step back and look at what's at stake, you'll realize that there's no reason to play so passively. It's Arena, not the World Cup Finals. In this clip, Polarized is getting pushed by a player who's trying to clean him up after his previous fight. Right when the player destroys the brick wall, Polarized meets him with a shotgun shot for over 100 damage. This immediately switches the rules of the fight and leads to an easy kill with some follow-up SMG spray. Now, if you want to learn some more Pro W key techniques like this, don't forget to head to ProGuides.com, where you can access all of our exclusive bootcamp content for just $7.99 and one-on-one coaching with any of our top-tier pros for 10% off. If you're pressed right up against their wall, using your pickaxe to make the replacement can work as well. Just use your best judgment so you don't miss your swing and leave yourself vulnerable. Alright, Fortnite fam, it is time for the question of the day. What's the highest elimination arena game you've dropped in Season 2? Have you dropped a 20 bomb? Let us know in the comments down below. In addition to making defensive wall replacements, you can't forget about the standard offensive wall replacements. While standing right in front of your opponent's wall and swinging your pickaxe in the open can work against the average Joe, this isn't going to fly when your opponent knows what they're doing. What you need to start doing is swing on their wall before you're even in their field of view. If you're approaching the wall from the right, swing your axe in midair as you jump over and follow up with a second swing to make your replacement. This will catch them off guard and force them to react to your play in half that they normally would, usually causing you to get the wall replacement before they can pull out their wall and hold their turbo build. Don't forget that you're not limited to just your pickaxe either. Using an SMG to spray the opponent's wall from afar can be a great way to catch them off guard and make a quick replacement play. Finally, you need to be able to relax and enjoy your arena playing experience. As we mentioned before, there's really not much on the line here. Use your arena games as a way to practice new techniques and improve yourself as a fighter. Putting unnecessary stress on yourself will only cause you to grow resentment for the game each time you die and shrink your bank account from all the keyboards you're going through. If you found these tips helpful, don't be afraid to leave a like and drop a comment on what you'd like to see next. Also, make sure you're subscribed with post notifications turned on so you never miss another one of our videos.